So Moonshot just dropped Kimmy K3, a 2 trillion parameter, 1 million context, open weights model. And this model is not competing with Frontier, it's beating Frontier on multiple benchmarks. Let's get straight into it. Now, if you were to have had asked me about this, whether open weights would have been beating Frontier a couple of months back, I would have had said it would have been a while till this would have had happened, right? Well, today is the day. Local open weight models beating and competing with Frontier. Now, GLM, 5.2, phenomenal model, already competing with Frontier, state of the art as well. But Kimmy came through and leaped from 44 of its index all the way to 57. This is a 2.8 trillion MOE model, by the way, with a 1 million context, and it's all open weight. We don't know the parameters that go around when it comes to Claude Fable, Opus, or ChatGPT 5.6. But for it to be within this range, we can kind of get somewhat of an idea. Now, quick disclaimer, let me say it because we do know it and I know y'all gonna say it as well. Just because something is open weights does not necessarily mean that you can run it. Running a 2.8 trillion parameter model is going to run you about 18 DGX Sparks or maybe 16, even more than that. You're going to have to spend a lot of money, and that Spark running at about $4,000 to $5,000. Let's do the math. I know my calculations is off, but I'm just going to be saying 16 to let you know the bare minimum. And I'm going to put $5,000 because that's how much they cost. You're going to have to spend around 80 to more than likely to actually have the full model, full weights, full context, probably over $100,000 to run this model at full capacity. And even at a 1 bit rate, you probably will still need at least 4 to 6 Sparks. Then we'll find out once they drop the GGUFs for this, because I'm definitely going to try running this even at 1 bit. I don't care. And that goes into the previous video I meant before about 1 bit models coming in and probably starting to make a little bit more sense as these models continue to progress out of the reach of being able to run off of your standard Sparks or 3090s or 6000s. But with that said, let's talk about Kimmy and where it currently is at. So right now in the overall index, it sits at 57, coming in at above Opus 4.8, and it is right underneath GPT 5.6, Soul, and then Fable 4.5. The good stuff about this though is we don't have to worry about Kimmy K swapping from Fable to Opus 4.8 with the humongous guardrails that Fable has, which I hate. And 5.6, they said it recently nerfed this model. So they brought it in and apparently it's been nerfed a little bit, or it's tinkered, it's not as strong. So I'm very curious where these currently kind of sit at right now in reality, more so of what it is. Kimmy, for the most part, is officially out. It was tinkered with, teased with, put out there yesterday, but now it's officially out. But I don't think that the actual weights are out yet, but more than likely they ship those very fast, probably by the time this video is out or tomorrow or so. On the coding side, it comes in at 4th place underneath 5.6, but there's just different tiers. So if you wanted to say 3rd place for the most part for 5.6, but yeah, it comes in right there. Once again, beating 4.8 Opus, something that I'm currently running. And then from an agentic standpoint, it is also beating 4.8 at 50. So this is very appealing for me because I started my whole entire OpenClaw AI life outside of ChatGPT with OpenClaw and running Kimmy K 2.5. This is definitely sitting on the point where I'm like, now, of course, I love running stuff local, and I do run stuff local, but it does have me thinking that maybe do I need to bring down my Anthropic monthly subscription? Do I even need it at this point? I won't probably do that, but I wouldn't mind maybe dropping a $20 off into the little piggy bank of, you know, Kimmy and their subscription plan and seeing what we can actually get going with this. Because I would love to test it out, and I think I'm going to do that. We're definitely going to be trying it out, play around with it. Also, there's free tiers as well, so it won't hurt. I definitely am going to be trying this model out and tinkering with it throughout the week and weekend. But Kimmy K3 is there. It is, as you can see, now it says open weights proprietary. I guess it's saying that because it has not actually shipped the weights yet. But, for the most part, they always seem to come through. I don't see them switching it up. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the case. Now, some of the benchmarks that have been put out right here, these are some of the benchmarks compared to some of the top leading models right here. So for the Browns comp, it's let me see, where's that? I think I had another one as well. Here you go. So these are like, these benchmarks are all over the net right now. So from a browse comp perspective, it's saying that it's the number one right now at 91.2. Long horizon, high difficulty information seeking. Thanks to the 1 million token context, Kimmy K3 has achieved the state of the art score of 91 on single agent setup without context compression or any additional context management techniques. Now, I had put this all into information. It says number one right now, but I don't know if that's the case. Number one on Earth. We'll have to wait and see about it. From the brief standpoint, is ranking number two, and then from the GDP Val AA, you have it in third place. So that's some of the leaderboards right there. And then moving on to like all the rest you could see here, it is competing. It's ranked number one in 2 of the benchmarks. It is ranked second place in 3 of the benchmarks, and then third place in the Deep CW SWE. So where does this kind of put us at? Where does this kind of like putting in my standpoint? I know that benchmarks are not nothing, but benchmarks are what you usually get first and foremost. It's kind of like the trailer of a movie. You got to go watch the movie. Now the trailer was good, the cover art was good. You got to go in and play around with it. My purpose right now is sometimes to put this information out to kind of get you prepared, to let you know that it's out there and go from there. Some of the times I'm going to start showing you stuff or show you things, but this is just groundbreaking. I'm literally about to start diving into this now, but it was definitely worth, you know, just putting it out there that we have officially hit the point now where, you know, to be honest, I mean, you know, we kind of already experienced it with GLM, state of the art. And when GLM dropped, we didn't have, well, I think when GLM dropped, we didn't have like Sonnet and Grok, and we might have had Opus, or might have had Opus 4.7. I can't remember exactly. But when GLM dropped, it was at like the number 3rd, 4th place. Since then, you know, Luna came through with 5.6. Grok came in right after it, 4.8. Then the Sonnet 5 dropped. So many things started just coming out of nowhere since GLM dropped that, you know, that GLM 5.5 is supposed to be releasing sometime in August, and it's supposed to be leaping as well. So, and I'm hearing that's going to be 1 trillion parameter model. Minimax is supposedly dropping a pro version, which is going to be a 1 trillion parameter model. So local open source is catching up. And at this point, it's not even catched up. It's caught up, and it's right there. Open weights are with the frontier. The only issue is being able to run it, being able to have the compute. So, you know, to each its own. This is a big hooray for open weights. At the same time, I do hope that we can start to see some of these open weights come in, be made for models that can fit within, you know, consumer PCs, 24 gigabytes of VRAM, Xbox, whatever. We need to see more. Like, we obviously see these companies are making these humongous leaps into these 1 trillion parameter models. Minimax is about to do it. We saw GLM is really close. They're going to do it. Kimmy's Ben did it. And then, you know, Quinn is more than likely going to do it as well. Like this lead, and then Nematron Ultra, they're halfway with their parameters. My point is that this is leaving an open space for a company to come through and fill that gap that everybody's starting to kind of leave in some shape or form and go from these middleweight models to these big time models. Now, DeepSeek V4 Flash, still waiting on that. The official launch of DeepSeek Pro, and that is coming. We'll see how that turns out. I mean, it's going to be probably the biggest news in local, in my opinion, because it will be being able to be ran on various type of setups. And I have another dope video I'll probably be dropping tomorrow as well. But big W for open source models, this open source community. And once we can get some weights, and if I can fit it on my 4 Sparks, I'm going to do it. I'm going to run 1 bit. I don't give a goddamn. We're going to run a bit on that bit. You feel me? And we'll see how that, you know, overall turns out. But yeah, man, we need some savior. Quinn, I don't know, Quinn, what you're doing. If you want to move on and leave us behind, it is what it is. But I do think that Quinn at this point is probably going to be dropping Quinn 4. I don't think we're going to get Quinn 3.8, or I think the long-standing wait, it's time for them to drop that. Gemini, we're still waiting on that. They said 3.5 Pro is releasing soon as well. We're going to be seeing some pretty big leaps coming in for the rest of the month and going into August. I think we're going to see this thing get sped up even more. I'm loving this. I'm loving you guys loving it. I want to say thank you to everybody coming through on the channel. And if you have any questions, feel free, man. Hit me up and follow me over on my Twitter, guys. This is my Twitter right here, not this Twitter. Salute to Leo, by the way. I'm just using this. But follow me over on Tech2Wild. I talk about this all the time throughout the day. I talk about recipes, what I'm working on, what I'm building. Follow me over there. I will leave a link down below in the description, and I will see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.